Which name first springs to mind when you consider how to personalize your vehicle? Counting Cars, a popular and long-running reality show on the History Channel, is probably the one. Additionally, it catapulted Danny Koker to stardom. He was previously known to many as the Count. Koker became a famous figure in the business due to his ability to elevate automotive modification through his extensive knowledge and innovative thinking. Nevertheless, numerous speculations began circulating in the automotive business following the show's 2021 conclusion regarding the numerous disasters that had befallen Koker. Is this fresh information regarding Danny Koker accurate or false? Let's find out. Daniel Nicholas Koker I was born on January 5, 1964 in Cleveland, Ohio. He would go on to become a reality TV personality, musician, producer, celebrity mechanic, and owner of Count's Customs. Since young Koker's father worked at the Ford Motor Company, he and many of his friends and relatives had access to antique cars and other types of autos. Koker, like any youngster enchanted with a toy, wanted to know how these gigantic playthings operated. After seeing his son's growing interest in motorbikes, his father decided to surprise him with a cruiser. This was the starting point. Koker started to get into the hobby of restoring and customizing cars. But it was obvious that cars were his life's work. As with his father, Koker had a deep appreciation for music. He came from a musical family. His dad played keyboards and sang baritone in the famous Southern gospel ensemble, the Cathedral Quartet. The Foggy River Boys, Mahalia Jackson, C.L. Franklin, and the Oak Ridge Boys were among the many groups he shared the stage with. In addition to his own musical endeavors, he also served as band leader for the Koker Family Singers, a group that comprised of Koker, his mother, and siblings. It came as no surprise then that at the tender age of 11, Koker performed at Carnegie Hall, following in his famous father's footsteps. His love for music was always there, but it intensified with time. Koker attended Valley for the Arts for his foundational shop and automotive education when he entered puberty. However, he was gaining the most from his education when he was not in class. For hours on end, he would see his father tinkering with old automobiles and engines. Expert mechanics and car gurus would also teach him. With the help of others, he was able to dismantle cars and understand their individual parts and their roles. While most others had given up on these devices, young Koker was learning how they worked and how to get them back up and running. He claims that his only formal education was in the two required high school classes, automotive technology and basic shop. The rest is simply a question of getting your hands filthy and disassembling things to discover their inner workings. The next step is to determine the best way to reassemble it. In the end, it was Koker's unique and highly practical method of learning that set him apart from the crowd in the automotive industry. Even though it was just a hobby at first, by the time he graduated from high school, he knew exactly what he wanted to accomplish with his life. But in the traditional sense, he never did complete high school. He attended UNR after finishing high school. Channel 33, a television station in Las Vegas, was purchased by Koker's father as he decided to diversify his economic interests beyond the automobile industry. Back in the day, the station mostly aired classic films, TV shows, dramas, and Christian religious programming. While owned and operated by the Kokers, the station was an independent that mainly aired local programming and occasionally screened terrifying B-movies like Saturday Fright at the Movies. As Count Cool Rider, Koker's breakout role in this film catapulted him to stardom. The sale of Channel 33 Inc. from the Koker family to Montecito Broadcasting Corporation was finalized on February 3, 1998, after it had been completed on December 18, 1997. But a few years prior, Koker had abandoned his acting career to devote himself to fixing up and personalizing vintage motorcycles and automobiles. It was his first vehicle, a 1979 Camaro Z28, that pushed him in this direction. In order to transform it into a street-style Can-Am race car, Koker dismantled the vehicle and added various modifications from top to bottom. Koker was inspired to pursue this profession full-time after the project's success. His two lifelong interests, cars and tattoos, came together when he started Count's Tattoo Company. People who loved tattoos and cars quickly became fans of the company. When Koker established Count's Customs, a company devoted entirely to automobile repair and modification, his lifelong ambition came true. At this custom company in Nevada, Koker began restoring old, abandoned automobiles. And in the early 2000s, similar to his earlier venture, this new establishment swiftly became well known in the industry. Count's Customs quickly became the go-to spot for quality-conscious individuals. The caliber of customers that visited the store was just astounding. One of them was Pawn Stars Rick Harrison, who regularly had Koker evaluate classic muscle cars. Koker was able to showcase his intelligence and extensive knowledge to a television audience of millions because of this. His standing in the automotive industry was further solidified by his affiliation with Harrison. However, it accomplished much more. The History Channel ran Harrison's highly successful show Pawn Star. They were even contemplating spin-offs because of how well it was going. After witnessing Koker's exceptional skills with automobiles and his remarkable talent for transforming rust buckets into breathtakingly beautiful masterpieces, not to mention the fact that he had his Count's traditions firmly established, the producers didn't have to think twice about it. Counting Cars was born out of their spin-off Koker. Filmed in Sin City, the third Pawn Stars spin-off series followed the daily operations of Koker's Count's Customs. This is the culmination of all that Koker has worked so hard to achieve: the world's exposure to his ambition, the guidance of his father, his own personal struggles over the years, and his remarkable career. Harrison brought in the 1968 Bullitt Mustang in the opening episode. Even though it was in bad shape when it showed up on the program, Harrison was adamant that he wanted this vintage Mustang fastback converted into a Bullitt tribute, and he wanted to do it on a tight budget. Koker and his crew did an incredible job repairing the vehicle, and it is evident that the end product was a masterpiece that impressed many. Fans were left wanting more as the 13 episodes of the first season concluded. At the start of the second season, there were twice as many episodes as in the first. Obviously, it was well received. In fact, the show has been greenlit for a third season. In the middle of a thrilling episode, Koker and his crew decided to count all the cars in the warehouse. They counted 1,500 cars in the warehouse at the time after sorting through a wide range of vehicles, including classic muscle cars, motorcycles, and modern sports cars. In order to promote the Counting Cars presentation, this achievement was covered in news articles and shared on social media. Koker became a household name in the world of auto repair and customization because to the show. It came as no surprise then that he was cast as producer not long after the show had begun running. In the years leading up to Counting Cars, he had already achieved widespread fame in Las Vegas. The bespectacled man with the glowing bandana and tattoos was he. People went to him with queries about customizing vehicles and motorcycles since he was the foremost expert on the subject. Even Hollywood A-listers were among them. Notable figures such as Alice Cooper, Tommy Lee, Dee Snider, George Lynch, and Judas Priest were all seeking the finest. And that was Koker. Koker was still Ozzy Osbourne's go-to when he wanted a challenging job. Because of his connections to famous people, Koker was invited to more parties, car exhibitions, and even TV appearances. Tourists and car aficionados from far and wide flocked to Count's Customs, making it one of the city's most popular destinations. There was a dramatic shift in Koker's financial situation as a result of this, and his entrepreneurial spirit flared up once more. Among his many successful endeavors was the renovation of Count's Rock Bar and Grill. His one-of-a-kind Las Vegas hangout, Count's Vamped, is famous for its gothic decor, motorcycle culture, and rock music vibe. Koker had many difficulties despite the fame and wealth. An uncomplicated legal matter shifted the plot and revealed a disturbing truth he had concealed for a long time. It was inevitable that Koker would face legal issues from time to time given his line of work. Such is the case of the couple who, in 2014, sued Koker's business because they had taken their 1967 Ford Mustang to have it modified so that it would show on television shortly after the Counting automobiles started. After discovering that the car wasn't even close to being finished and that it wasn't the sort they had envisioned, the couple sought a refund in the $50,000 lawsuit. Subsequently, the matter was resolved. It was obviously not a major enough offense to warrant an arrest warrant or prison time for Koker. But 3 years down the road, he ran into trouble with the police again when a former Count's custom employee was hit with a $75,000 lawsuit for allegedly taking money from Koker's company for controlled substances. Koker received a 30-day prison term after it was determined that the drugs were his. Disclosure of Koker's undocumented struggle with substance abuse startled many in the business as a whole. That was unbelievable to the fans. The downfall of Koker's career and business was inevitable given his reputation as a cool dude who loved cars. He was essentially a role model for many. Many were worried about Counting Cars' future, and Count's traditions were criticized following his incarceration. Koker resolved to maintain his sobriety with the same dogged persistence he had demonstrated in his successful business and reality television careers. Since then, he has persevered through other legal issues without being arrested. Thanks to his honesty about his struggles and dedication to getting well, he has regained the respect of his fans and clients. Even with his musical endeavors, Koker was devoted. Count's Vamped, his club, was crucial in preserving his music. Thanks to his unique blend of vintage style and rock music, Koker was able to make the club a hit with locals and visitors alike. Plus, when the guitarist hosting the weekly jam night found out that Koker was a musician, he would invite him to join him on stage for some tunes. Other individuals were invited to sing after some time had passed, and a specific quartet that happened to include Koker ended up performing on stage simultaneously, and they harmonized magnificently. As far as Koker is concerned, it seemed authentic. I was elated. We all got along great. Sitting on the club's patio afterward, we reminisced about how great it felt and just resolved to meet together for the next jam night. Come on, let's practice some songs. We should probably do some warm-ups. Accordingly, that is what we did. Then, to our surprise, our jam night began to attract an audience. In the end, this lineup evolved into Koker's own band, Count 77. Whenever asked how the band came together, he explained, "We're rehearsing all the time. Eventually, they became what is essentially their own band." Therefore, it was genuinely an organic development by a group of men about the same age. Our musical tastes were very similar when we were younger. We're all deeply devoted to the same musical genre. Therefore, it really transpired in such manner. Count 77 began opening for more established acts not long after, and kept on performing at the club as well. Along with Koker's rising reputation in automobile counting, his band also saw a surge in popularity. Summer of '77 is a popular track from the band's debut album. The readers of Blues Rock Review even chose their record as one of the year's top 20. Koker rejected the idea that he had a concrete objective for the band when asked about it. "All I want is for it to keep going and reach its full potential." The fact that no one in the band ever feels content is astounding, but it's true. I can only say that the 6 of us are completely committed to this band, but I have no idea what our objective is. We are committed to giving it our all as a group of 6. It seemed like everything that Koker touched became gold, from the car industry to music. Some of Koker's admirers probably aren't aware that he doesn't get full credit for his achievements. Behind all the glitz and glamour is a private existence. That encompasses the many years that Koker has been married to the talented musician and entrepreneur Corey Koker. Koker and Corey, 2 individuals who shared a love of vehicles and rock roll, got acquainted years before the agreement to count cars was even considered. Corey has been an integral part of every Count series from '77 to Count's traditions, but he has been particularly pivotal in running Count's Vamped. She has been the silent but effective motor that keeps everything running smoothly. The duo has been successful in their respective fields and has kept their personal life out of the spotlight. Nevertheless, fragments do emerge. Rumors circulated about the pair's marital problems, namely that Koker's busy schedule was a source of tension for the couple. Many of their followers were worried that the couple's financial empire would crumble if they had broken up. However, the pair opted to keep their personal matters under wraps rather than publicly addressing the rumors. Fans were also concerned about Corey's health since she had reportedly stepped down from her role at Vamped due to a crisis. Her death was allegedly the result of a car crash, according to various online sources. Fans continued to express their support and best wishes for Corey despite the fact that these details weren't fully confirmed. bringing attention to the couple's significance to the Las Vegas area and beyond. People at Counts Vamped were just happy to have her return to work. The couple's connection is just as strong as it was before the rumors started. Koker has expressed his appreciation for a spouse that understands his professional duties and shares his enthusiasm on occasion, despite the obligations of fame and business. The 184-episode 10-season run of Counting Cars came to an end in 2021. Even though it was the last episode, viewers still gave it high marks for being a hit on the History Channel. Actually, viewers were waiting for confirmation of a renewal for a second season, but they never received it. Koker chose to welcome any and all fans who wish to experience Counts customs, since he is still the owner of the establishment. Free daily tours of the shop showing some of the most famous constructions from the show's history are offered, according to the official Counts Customs website. Actually, they also constructed a museum there to ensure that fans would be completely satisfied. The truth is that reality TV as we know it today was revolutionized by the practice of automobile counts, particularly in the realm of automotive restaurants. As an example of this effect, consider the recently set criteria for reality TV shows. For instance, nobody had really succeeded before with counting automobiles infusing the personal stories of the team members with the technical parts of car restoration. That it endured for so long is puzzling. Koker shows no signs of slowing down, even though the program ended more than 3 years ago. He remains the famous mechanic who is also a music artist, having released not 1 but 2 studio albums. On occasion, though, speculations on his well-being have made the rounds on various social media platforms. He does not appear to be ailing or experiencing any health problems at the moment. Word on the street is that he's doing fine. In an effort to save his followers against deceit and fraud, he took to Twitter on X. For my part, I'm solely active on Twitter. Although my companies are present on all platforms, my personal presence is limited to Twitter. Fake DK accounts can be found on various networks, including Facebook. No way, it's not real. Make a formal complaint. At now, Koker reportedly has a net worth of $14 million and possesses more than 100 personal vehicles, including over 55 cars and 70 motorcycles, some of which he received from his late father. Although Koker is no longer a TV star, his legacy successfully brought together a small sector and its fans. His show simplified a difficult topic, making it easier for viewers to connect with and enjoy. This has opened the door for other reality shows to delve into underserved communities and specialties. Koker's story is about overcoming adversity. Many find inspiration in Koker's story, which begins with his childhood enthusiasm for automobiles and interest that was made public through his popular Counting Cars show and ends with his unexpected stint in prison.